And more news coming in on the coronavirus outbreak. Wuhan, which is the epicenter of the virus, is going to be in fact restricting car traffic in the city, and this is going to happen from Sunday on. The government has issued a travel advisory to Indian travelers to China. Government says all non-essential travel to China is going to be avoided.
That's how it began. A disease that broke out thousands of kilometers away from us. A disease we thought would begin and end in China. But instead, it took over the whole world, bringing life to a standstill.
ये आवश्यक है कि वैश्विक महामारी के इस वातावरण में मानव जाति विजयी हो, भारत विजयी।
The COVID-19 lockdown led to the shutting down of shops, factories, malls, offices, restaurants, and even halted Mumbai's lifeline, the local trains. The maximum city, however, fought and survived the pandemic as residents remained inside their homes. Starting from the Janta curfew that was imposed on 22nd March up till the most recent curfew that was announced for the last few days of 2020.
22 मार्च रविवार को सुबह 7 बजे से रात 9 बजे तक सभी देशवासियों को जनता कर्फ्यू का पालन करना है।
The Janta curfew was a 14-hour curfew on 22nd March from 7 a.m. to 9 p.m. Every person was required to obey the curfew, with exceptions for essential services such as the police, medical services, media, home delivery professionals, and firefighters. At 5 p.m. that day, all citizens were asked to stand at their doorways, balconies or windows and clap or ring their bells in appreciation for the professionals delivering the essential services. On 25th March, with the announcement from Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the lockdown was imposed in Maharashtra among other states. Subsequent extensions led the lockdown to span over a few months till 1st June, before the state started opening up under Mission Begin Again. The lockdown was marred by the migrant crisis, where thousands of workers from states like Uttar Pradesh and Bihar bundled into trains, buses and even walked back to their home states after their places of work were shut. An event that showed Mumbai's undaunted spirit in the face of the lockdown was Dharavi's battle with the novel coronavirus. With more than 1 death and over 24 positive cases detected every day, Asia's largest slum was a major cause for concern for the Maharashtra government in the months of April and May. In a slightly more positive turn of events, the COVID-19 hotspot did not report any deaths in the first week of June. As of 25th December, no new COVID-19 cases were reported in Dharavi for the very first time since the pandemic reached India. On 31st May, the Maharashtra government announced that the coronavirus lockdown will be extended in the state till 30th June, amid issuing revised guidelines for phase-wise opening and easing of lockdown restrictions. All markets, market areas and shops, except malls and market complexes, were allowed to resume operation from 5th June. Private offices were also allowed to operate with up to 10% strength from 8th June. The state government announced some relaxations for hotels, lodges and guest houses providing accommodation services outside containment zones. These entities were allowed to resume services from 8th July, but at 33% capacity and with certain conditions. The Maharashtra government extended the lockdown in the state till 31st August. Malls and market complexes without theatres, food courts and restaurants were allowed to operate between 9 a.m. and 7 p.m. from 5th August. The night curfew was also lifted. The Maharashtra government kept most of the guidelines the same as those that were put forward by the centre. Hotels and lodges were allowed to operate at 100% capacity. Hotels, food courts, restaurants and bars were allowed to operate from 5th October with capacity not exceeding 50%. All the trains originating and ending the journey within the state were restarted with immediate effect. Dabbawalas of tiffin carriers in MMR were allowed to travel by local trains. The state government allowed the reopening of cinema halls, multiplexes, drama theatres, yoga institutes, sports facilities like badminton and squash courts, as well as indoor shooting ranges and swimming pools, which would be available only for training of sports persons. All religious places in the state were also allowed to open from 16th November. With news of the new coronavirus variant from the UK, the Maharashtra government announced a night curfew in municipal corporation areas from 11 p.m. to 6 a.m. starting from 22nd December to 5th January as a precautionary measure.